What up, family? It's your girl Bella, and I am back in this piece because I have to. I had to come back here, y'all, and talk about this whole Shedeur Sanders situation because the way folks keep flip flopping, it tells me everything I need to know. And before you form an opinion, just listen to what I'm saying, not what you think I'm saying. I want to take a deep dive into how the NFL media, Cleveland reporters, and even some black sports analysts, they've been moving funny around Shedeur Sanders, and it's weird. It's a lot of double standards. It gives me, as you know, the NFL Hunger Games energy, the fear of black excellence, and the truth behind why they never believed, but we did.
Freedom, freedom, freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.
So, welcome back, you guys. Where do I start? Because I am so agitated. And I think I'm more agitated with the black sports analyst than I am with anything because the flip flopping has blew my mind. So, and I'm gonna tell you what blows my mind. A lot of these people in the Cleveland media, they don't believe, y'all. And that's the problem. It's very simple. Because when Shedeur and Coach Prime first touched down at Jackson State, their whole foundation was, I believe, that was a movement, a mindset, a real shift. We all stood together on that. The fans, the culture, the folks who were tapped in before the camera showed up. But what's going on now? Yeah, the analysts and the media people are wishy-washy. And really that's what it is. Every single week. 1 minute they up, 1 minute they down, 1 minute Shedeur got generational talent. The next minute he got a 2-quarter deadline to prove himself. Ain't that something? But I'm here to tell you, please, miss us with that, please. No. It's an insult. You know, I can only think of one thing that this could be about with the flip flopping. They love black athletes, but they hate black culture. Because what else could it be? And I'm here to try to figure that out. Like, y'all don't give nobody else that type of treatment. Dylan Gabriel, he can pass with a 38 and still get praise. Cam Ward got drafted number one, and nobody said he only get one shot. But Shedeur, I just don't get it. If he sneezed the wrong way, and suddenly he done. I just don't get it. Come on now. That is not analysis, y'all. That's disbelief disguised as critique. And that disbelief, that's what makes the media energy so shaky. They don't know whether to root for him or to count him out. So they do both, flip flopping like they scared to pick a side. And let me see what we are. What, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We are 8 months from the NFL draft. 8 months, y'all. They've been flip flopping. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of these people. Like seriously, that goes for the white sports analysts, the black sports analysts, the Cleveland media, ESPN, all these people. I'm sick of the flip flopping. I'm sick of the storylines. I'm tired of it. When will it stop? And y'all, you know I don't sugarcoat shit. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these black, especially with the black sports analysts. You know, they got sponsorships and all these other things where I don't know. I don't know if they cannot say what they can say. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. But I don't have any sponsorship. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care. I don't I don't sugarcoat. I don't water down. And I'm damn sure not gonna play scared. But y'all do you. Because today's episode, they never believed. And that's really what it is. They never believed in Shedeur, period. From Jackson State to Colorado, they never took the oath, the Coach Prime oath. Because we all took it at Jackson State. And I'm not talking about just trolls, y'all, or the fans who only watch highlights. I'm talking about the real media, Cleveland media, national media, NFL media, and yes, even black sports analysts who switch sides every other day, like they on a discount Wi-Fi connection. It's really sickening. And I've been sitting here watching for the last several weeks because you know I haven't went live. I've been watching and I've been taking notes. And the trajectory of black men on this topic is overwhelmingly sad. Very sad. And I know Coach Prime and Shedeur got to be looking at they at these takes sometimes like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, you can tell who is bought and paid for. It's really sickening and sad. Like, it really is. It really is. I don't know if I would be able to do it, you know? So I'm going to take a bite out of Coach Prime saying, you better get me now. I don't think I'll ever be able to sell out my culture for a couple of bucks or say what I need, say what they want me to say, you know? And really, that brings me to my first point on how I feel all of this got started with Shedeur. I really do feel like this is the reason why Shedeur is having such a hard. Hold on. He is having such a hard time with these people. And if you a Shedeur fan, I don't know how deep y'all is into this, but I go back as far as Dion's playbook. I fell in love with Shedeur when he was probably 6 or 7 years old on that reality TV show they had. So that's how far back I go. But I'm gonna give you a clear example as to why these folks don't like Shedeur, y'all. And trust me, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But this is why. So listen to this clip and you tell me what you think.
A lot of people think that they know what happened with Shedeur, and I'm gonna give you the real reason why they don't like Shedeur. And trust me, Shedeur don't give a fuck. But let me show you why.
How's everybody doing? Definitely. No, I just want to thank God for this opportunity. It's definitely tough, I would say, looking back. Just even being at a HBCU, coming to a Power 5, people don't respect how you play. They don't respect a lot of things you did, not because of me, because of pops because of dad, because they just didn't like him. That's just what it is. But anyways, I'm just very...
See, the moment Shedeur checked them people on live TV to let them know, I know you don't like my daddy. I know you don't like my daddy. I'm not here to kiss y'all ass. I'm not here to fucking play with y'all. I know you don't like my daddy. But that's all right. And ever since that moment, in my opinion, they had it out for Shedeur. Because he let them know, I know you don't like my daddy. I know you don't. You don't like my motherfucking daddy. And he let them know, too, on national TV. So, sometimes you got to pick your battles. And that's the battle that he picked. And I'm riding with Shedeur. Because he did not want to play the game smiling in these people's faces, knowing they don't like his daddy. Knowing that they've disrespected his father. So, I don't know. You know, a lot of people in his position would have bowed down. They would have bowed down to fit into that organization, because he had him right there in the palm of his hands until he said that. So. And another thing, just imagine you growing up, you watching your dad, you watching his emotions, you watching everything that's happening, and that affects you. You know, you see your father coming home and, maybe he's been rattled with racism, and you see how it affects your father, and you grow up looking at this. You see the hate, you feel the hate that he's experiencing. So now that you're an adult, you got the opportunity to tell him. Because you got to remember, Shedeur never left his dad. He never went to go stay with his mom. He always stayed with Coach Prime. He's the one kid that Coach Prime raised 100%. So their bond is a little bit more stronger, I believe. So Shedeur like, fuck y'all. Y'all don't like my motherfucking daddy. So I'm all the way down with Shedeur on that. He ain't pretending. He ain't fake. He let them folks know, period. You don't like my motherfucking daddy. Good morning.
Yeah, so that's what I think, y'all. He knows that these people don't like his daddy. How do I get rid of this? Okay, hold on, y'all. Oh. Okay, he knows it. So we're going to talk about the bias. We're going to talk about the contradiction. We're going to talk about the racism that folks pretend ain't there. Because you know what I noticed, and too, while I'm on the topic, I don't know what it is about black men telling a white man he's racist and why y'all beat around the bush. I would never understand that shit. So we're going to talk about the racism folks pretend is not there. Hunger Game energy Shedeur is being forced into. But most important, y'all, we're going to talk about why they never believed. And why that's their problem, not his. So go grab your coffee, go grab your snacks, grab your receipts. Let's further get into this. Now, you can really tell who really believes. Like I said, I've been down since Deion's family playbook. That was a long time ago, probably 20 some years ago, maybe. But you can tell who don't believe, because people who believe, they're consistent, right? And the people who don't, they panic, they switch up, they reach for drama instead of facts. And that's what we've been getting. Cleveland media been reaching so hard. They only want the story, but not the truth. They want the attention, but not the accountability. They want the prime shine, but don't want to stand on prime standard. And that's why they treat Shedeur like a threat. Because belief requires commitment. And commitment requires honesty. And honesty, I ain't got that part down yet. Yeah. They never believed. They never took the Coach Prime oath. Ever. So let's talk about the Cleveland situation. Because the way these people have been wiggling and wobbling, it just gives wishy-washy with no backbone. One minute they hyping up Shedeur, the next minute they act like he on trial for murder, y'all. Like, make it make sense. You got these reporters, Cleveland media reporters. Well, I'm trying to think. I think it's just ESPN. There's a lot of different reporters who said these things. But they are making it seem like he only has 2 quarters to prove himself. 2 quarters. A half of a game, y'all. Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel gets a passing grade of 38, ranked 32 out of 32 quarterbacks. Him and Cam Ward are going neck to neck. And not one analyst has said either one of them is done, that they only have 1 game left. Cam Ward went number 1 in the draft, and nobody told him he only gets 1 chance. But Shedeur, he got to walk in the NFL as a rookie and be treated like a 10-year veteran. Ain't that some shit? All because the Cleveland media don't believe and has made enemies out of the aunties, the unks, the fans, the family, and everybody that came with Shedeur. All because they don't believe. Now, what type of shit is that? And people who don't believe, they panic. They switch up. They flip sides like a bad mattress. And it's not analysis, it's insecurity. Cleveland fans, Cleveland residents, Cleveland media is insecure. They have low self-esteem, the whole fucking city, because they don't believe that they deserve a good quarterback. Because if they did believe that they deserve a good quarterback, we wouldn't be having all this drama around Shedeur. You know? And then I hear these Cleveland media street beaters or whatever the fuck they're called. They get on this internet and they continuously cause drama, panic, the switch up, the flipping sides. You don't believe. So, when Coach Prime said, "I believe," he wasn't talking about a slogan. And see, and that's where Black culture comes in at. And I need to make a whole video about this this Black sports analyst, Aiko. Yeah, I'm on your ass. You don't represent black culture. You are from Africa. You are a Nigerian, okay? And the reason why we create the word tether is because you guys cosplay black Americans, which is what you do, okay? And he said something on the show yesterday about black culture that I'm going to check you about later. Anyway, so when Coach Prime said, I believe, he was not just talking about a slogan, it was a code. And see, and that's what they don't understand. They love black athletes, but they don't love black culture. And I've been saying this since Shedeur got drafted. And think about it. Shedeur got swag, but Jackson Dart. Wait, Shedeur is ghetto, whatever they call it, but Jackson Dart got swag. You feel me? Oh, Cam Scatterboo. Oh, he's this. But Shedeur. So we get to watch white boys cosplay black culture, but they get called cool. But soon as Shedeur does it, it's not cool. They love the speed, the talent, the highlight plays, the numbers on the board. But the moment the same athlete brings his full self, his voice, his swagger, his history, his confidence, his community into the room, suddenly it's too much. They praise the body, but fear the identity. They want the entertainment, but not the expressions. They want the touchdowns, but not the truth. And that's why Shedeur makes them uncomfortable. He's not just a black athlete. He's a black man rooted in black culture, a black family, black pride, purpose. And they don't know what to do when that talent comes packaged with unapologetic blackness. Okay? So I'm going to say it again. They love black athletes, but they don't love black culture. And just to make it, I don't know, I'm going to put that on the screen. Yeah, they love black athletes, but they don't love black culture. It is what it is. Now, where am I? Okay. So, back to where I was. What in the world? Okay. So, I mean, it's really like a poor Shedeur. These folks, man, it just don't stop. Okay, so when Coach Prime said, I believe, he wasn't talking about a slogan. That was a code, right? And the people who really have been rocking with Coach Prime, Jackson State Shedeur, we still believe. I really don't know what y'all want us to do. You talk about you switched our names to the Shedeurians and whatever else insult that you have done. Um, you say we're a cult because we support Shedeur. You say all these things about Shedeur fans, right? Because we still believe. I mean, that's crazy, right? Because we believe you got a problem with us. Because we still believe. You got a problem with us. All we doing is believing. What you want us to do? Hey, media folks, we still believe. So the media folks, they spectators, they tourists in a culture they don't fully respect. That's why they keep going back and forth, y'all, because they don't have the conviction to call greatness what it is. But that's fine, because belief don't need a majority vote. It just needs the right ones. So I told y'all days ago, well, months ago, ever since I started. If you look at my um, uh, page, you will see the NFL Hunger Games. I've been felt this way. I told y'all months ago, this whole situation was giving Hunger Games energy. I don't know if you guys watch the Hunger Games, but I'm a fan. Everybody else get grace. Everybody else get development. Everybody else get time to grow. But Shedeur, no. He supposed to walk in the room, pick up the playbook, and master the NFL in 1 week, or he is done. Because that's what they said. They put a target on his back this week. They told that boy he got one time, one game. One game, y'all. So, 1 week or he's done. That ain't football. That's an entertainment sacrifice. They want to see who survives the arena. Yeah. But the crazy part, people act like I'm exaggerating. Until this week. Hey, yeah, I got messages on my TikTok like, girl, you was right. This is like the Hunger Games. Now the world see exactly what I was talking about. So, I woke up today kind of feeling good about myself because I predicted it. I predicted the entertainment sacrifice. They want to see if he's going to survive the arena. It's crazy, right? They're not judging his talent, y'all. They know what the fuck he can do. It's on tape. They know what he can do. They're not judging his stats. He won the Golden Arm Award. I showed you that. This is punishment for embarrassing them on live TV, letting them white boys know, I know you don't like my daddy. Punk ass. I know you don't like my dad. He checked them on live national TV at the Golden Arm Award, y'all. So a lot of times when folks be talking about Coach Prime kids and they entitled, they is ghetto as hell. I don't know if y'all know. Bucky, Shedeur, and Shiloh is hood written. They get a pass from me. Trust me. But I'm gonna tell y'all, they judging his DNA. Let's keep it real. The name he come from. And that's why it feels like the Hunger Games, y'all. It is the Hunger Games. Because the chosen one, Dylan, Cam Ward, all the rest of these guys, they're getting pampered. You don't hear about Abdul Carter being the most suckiest person in the NFL. He was drafted. He ain't done shit. Okay? His report card is an F. Why are they talking about Abdul Carter? You feel me? The chosen ones get pampered. Look at Dylan. He didn't have to do nothing. The black kid from the culture, Shedeur, Shiloh, Coach Prime sons, they're going to get tested, poked, doubted, pressured, humiliated, thrown into the fire. And yet, Negroes don't see that or understand that. That's why I say it's hard for us to stay on code. Boy, just imagine if every black person stayed on code in this situation. Just imagine. Because they know they got peons that's gonna repeat the white perspective. But how can I say this? No, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, so yeah, the back and forth shit is not random though. It's disbelief. When I'm just came on here this Saturday afternoon to let you guys know you have disbelief. And your disbelief always exposes itself. So you can get on these platforms, you can pretend you are a Shedeur fan and you riding for Shedeur, but you always contradict yourself because you really don't believe. You really is in disbelief. But what y'all think? Do y'all see the switch up? Because it's right there, right in our face, right? Now, let's be real. A lot of these NFL people, they ain't slick. Mm-mm. We know they're not trying to analyze Shedeur. Right? They're trying to break him, but I have a question. What do you think Coach Prime did to these people? We've been trying to figure this out since before the draft. Because I know Coach Prime was off the chain in his 20s. He talked about it all the time when he got drafted. Him and Michael Irvin laugh about all the women and just, I know how it probably could have been. He has 2 divorces. I'm sure Coach Prime was a true, honest man at one point in time in his life. But what did he do to these people, Coach Prime? If I ever get to interview Coach Prime, that's gonna be my angle. I want to know, what did you do to these people, Coach Prime? So they just trying to break Shedeur. And Shedeur said something that made me proud. He said, I've been through so much adversity, you can't break me. Let me see if I can find it. You can't break me. I'm built for this. Let me see. Oh, this is it right here. Okay, so let me play this for you guys because I think you should hear it, Okay. So like I said, they're not trying to analyze him. They are really trying to break him. This is the same league that will protect mid QBs for years. They'll let them fail, refail, reinvent themselves. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at what just happened. What's today? Saturday. Look what just happened Thursday with Josh Allen. Running for his fucking life. But do you see it blasted all over the internet? No. He's a great white hope for them. You have to really question people who are billionaires, but they don't have any investment as far as like their kids, their grandkids, who can enter into this investment that they've invested. They don't have anything to give to the game but money. They don't have kids. They don't have people that can play the game. So they got to be sad every Sunday. You will never be able to root for your kids or your grandkids out there in a black dominated sport, you know? So they got to be kind of sad for a white billionaire. But like I said, they're not trying to analyze Shedeur. They're trying to break my boy. So let's listen to what Shedeur
I know this is a trending topic
said.
that my house got broken into, but like I'm in a mental space now to where it's not too much that could phase me. Honestly, what's going on? And none of my jewelry got took anyway. So, by the way, none of my jewelry got took. So nah, it's just caught slipping.
So you see, they can't break him. But a black quarterback with confidence, a black quarterback with swagger, a black quarterback with a name that carries power. Oh no, baby. That's a problem for them. It's sad. But Shedeur don't play humble servant. He doesn't shrink. He doesn't yes sir the system. He plays like somebody who knows he belongs. And that scares these people, y'all, who spent decades telling black quarterbacks they didn't belong or you're not smart enough to be a fucking quarterback. So what happens? Suddenly, everything he does is too much. His jewelry, a problem. His confidence, a problem. His father supporting him. Oh, that's definitely a problem. And let me stop right there. Because do you know that this man, Coach Prime, is debating on whether he should go see his son play because he don't want that to affect his son. This is the world we live in, y'all. It's an attack on black fatherhood. That is an attack on black fatherhood. We already don't have enough fathers who take care of their children. And you mean to tell me we finally get one and he got to be careful if he supports him or not? So ask yourself, y'all, if his name was, let me see, Brent Pickens, no, not Pickens, because got a Pickens. If his name was Brent, I can't even think of a white person last name. Would we be having these conversations? No, we would not. We would not be having these conversations. And it's really sad because the problem is they never believe. And that's really it. Now, this is a difficult topic because it needs to be talked about. The black analysts. Yeah. I'm going to do a whole separate video because it's too many of them. But I just want to say this to them. And this definitely going to hurt some feelings, but I don't care. Because some of these black analysts, sports analysts, they are embarrassing. I mean, they on the road to embarrassment like Offset. That's how embarrassing these black sports analysts have become. Yeah. every time mainstream white media puts pressure on Shedeur, right? Who jumps out first to agree? They do. I mean, it's sickening. Sickening to the point where I had to create a podcast to talk about it. It's sickening. And I am tired of them. And it's not all of them because some of them they play against the fence and I don't mess with them either. You know. But it's enough of them to where it's noticeable. So just imagine, put yourself in Shedeur's shoes. I would be so disgusted with these black sports analysts. I would. I wouldn't give them an interview. Once Shedeur get in his career, I would not give them no interview. I would not. I wouldn't. It's too noticeable. And they try so hard to look objective and unbiased that they end up being more biased than the folks they trying to impress. Because like I said, when I started off the show, I don't have any sponsorships. I don't owe anybody shit. I can say what I want to say. I can cuss. I can do, what I want. I'm not trying to impress nobody at all. But somebody needs to call these black men out. Oops. I always do that. Somebody needs to call them out. You can literally feel the self-hate in the analysis. They need to sound like the safe Negro. The fear of backing a black quarterback who is unapologetically themselves. They can't support him. They're not analyzing the game. They are analyzing how they think white folks is going to respond. And that's not journalism. That's behavior conditioning. So let's listen. You've all been watching, right? We know Dylan Gabriel sucks. We know that his scores are low. I could go over his stats, but I don't want to because it don't make no sense to repeat that. But he's still praised, still defended, and still protected. Okay? Now, Cam Ward is the number one pick, and we love Cam Ward. He's Shedeur's friend. But he didn't get that one-shot narrative, no panics, no deadline. Shedeur is a rookie, but they treat him like a 5-year vet with 2 rookies. Actually, I don't know how many quarterbacks was before Shedeur. But it's a lot of rookies ahead of him. But you don't hear them talking about them. He only has one chance ultimatum given to him by Ryan Clark, Aiko, all these black sports analysts. I don't want to name them fools. And the only quarterback talked about like a reality show contestant. Nobody else. He's the only quarterback treated like a threat instead of a prospect. So folks ain't slipped. They expose themselves. So let's talk about why these people never believed. Why they never believed. Let me say this plain. When Coach Prime and Shedeur came to Jackson State, right? They came in with belief. First game. I believe wasn't a hashtag. It was a culture, okay? It was a mindset, a movement. We believed together, but the media, they never believed. Not then and not now. That's why they switch up so fast. That's why they create drama. That's why they push panic. That's why they treat Shedeur like a threat. And they don't understand belief because belief requires commitment And commitment requires honesty, and honesty requires respect. And they ain't got any of those when it comes to black quarterbacks who don't fit their stereotype. So, yeah, y'all, this whole week exposed the truth. And it really validates my series, the NFL Hunger Games. And if you watch the Hunger Games, you know Shedeur is catnip all the way. He's been put in situations that's unfair, right? But these people never believed. Not in Shedeur, not in Coach Prime, not in black culture, not in the movement, not in the standard we built. But guess what? Belief don't need the majority. Belief just need the right ones. And the right ones, we still here, baby. We still standing. We still calling out all they bullshit. And this is what they hate the most. That we know football. We understand football. They can't talk over our head. We know what a fourth down is. We know what 4th and 1. We know what all that is. We know what a touchback. We know all the terminology. You can't play with us. We know football. A lot of us black women birthed the football players. I don't know if you know that or not. Yeah, we birthed them for your enjoyment. So the least you can do is respect the athletes we birthed for your entertainment purposes. Drop your thoughts, share this video, tag somebody who's been watching this mess unfold, because the Black Playbook and Black Culture is Lit. Make sure you follow both channels, y'all. I'm venturing off. The Black Playbook is going to be specifically for sports. Black Culture is going to be for black culture. The Black Playbook is not letting up off these fools, off their necks. We got more receipts, more breakdown, more truth, and more fire coming. This ain't over. Not by a long shot. Peace, y'all.